Hey guys, LootWizard here with another video on Gems of War, and yes, I do have a webcam, so hey guys. Yeah, we're gonna be going over this week, the new event that's out, the raid boss, and I'm gonna be going through what I think is good in the Soulforge this week. We're gonna take a look at the new troop that's out that you can get for glory, and just the general everything that's going on this week in this video. So if that's the sort of thing you want to hear, then, let's get right into it. So I think I'm going to start at the Soulforge, and we're going to go from there. Now, let's check out the weapons first. And you can actually get this weapon in the raid boss event, which we're going to be going over after this. So I will skip that one. But if you do want to, you can craft it in here for diamonds, and then you don't have to waste gems. But gems are easier to get than diamonds. So if you can get it in the raid shop. It's just, or the event shop. It's the best way to do that. We do have two other weapons here to craft. The jack-o'-lantern for 300 diamonds. And I don't think, it does have its uses, but I don't think this weapon is worth it. Unless you just want to collect all of the weapons in the game. That's 300 diamonds to craft. Doomed crossbow is an absolutely awesome weapon to craft. 900 diamonds this week. Plus 60 souls and all that business. It's great. Now, if you missed out on these doomed weapons when the Doom event started, the Tower of Doom event started, these were the first types of weapons that they released for that, and these are the best Doom weapons in my opinion. But if you already have at least one of these, you probably don't need another one, because they're all basically the same except they're a different color and they transform a different color into Doom Skulls. So if you already have one of these and you don't want to waste diamonds, because it is 900 diamonds, which is pretty pricey. That's about a fourth of what it takes to craft a mythic troop. But if you don't have this weapon and you can get it, I do recommend it, because these weapons are fantastic with high damage, it's spell damage, and then it's Doom Skulls. It's a great weapon. Alright, moving on to troops. I'll pass over the common troops here that you can, I'll just make a point here, you can have a chance to craft some of these more common or ultra rare or epic troops. So with the summoning stones, you can do that if you have some summoning stones. And you get those summoning stones from doing your daily dungeons. It's very important to do those daily dungeons. So, legendary troops here to craft. Nothing really fantastic. It's kind of odd that Abyssinia is up there, because that's a mythic troop. But legendary troops, nothing really great here to craft. Queen Mab is probably the best one out of these four. But you can get Queen Mab by opening a lot of glory keys, or you might get it in gem keys. I think that that you're better off just waiting to get these out of keys, honestly. Abyssinia is not really the greatest mythic troop. It is a mana generator. The only thing it has going for it other than that is summoning the Infernal King, which is a legendary troop that creates skulls. Transforms green gems, I believe, into skulls. So, and there's no way to get Abyssinia here to start with half mana, so you're looking at a full 22 mana cost for a mana generator. It's basically the same as Ragnagord or even like Gorgotha. So, not really greatest mythic troop there. I would say pass on that. Wait until you get it in keys. But the best mythic troop in here that I see is the Wild Queen. This is probably one of my favorite mythic troops. It's definitely in my top 10 mythics. This mythic troop is awesome. It steals up to 29 attack from an enemy. It gives it to the first ally, and it will create a mix of 22 skulls and green gems. Now, the great thing about this second part of its ability is that it's not at all dependent upon your current magic. So even if you are at a very low level in the game and your magic won't affect the second part, so it's still going to create 22 skulls and green gems every time you cast it. The traits really aren't that important. All wild folk allies gain 2 attack at the start of every turn. I mean, it is wild folk, so it will be gaining that attack on itself. But since you're stealing attack and giving that to the first ally, you really don't need to trade it at all, which is another great thing about this mythic, because it's all of what makes it great is radiant's ability. That's also a really good thing for newer players that don't have as many arcane trait stones to level up all those traits or unlock them. Mana cost isn't too bad, 22. It's elemental and it's wild folk, so you do have troops in the game to get this troop to start at 50% mana, which cuts that 22 right down to an 11. So for an 11 mana cost, and then it's going to generate mana for itself. Now, I think I did mention this in another video, is that one of the things that I look for in mythic troops or even legendary troops that really make them amazing is when it can generate mana for itself. And as you'll see here, it creates green gems and it takes green gems. So not only is it really powerful with its ability to do damage, but it will generate mana for itself, and that's generally a really good sign. Now, probably the second best mythic in this list here is going to be Yasamine's Chosen. It'll do scatter damage, which isn't really amazing, but it's boosted by entangled enemies. The boost ratio is 10, so you have the potential to get an extra 40 damage added to the scatter damage if every enemy is entangled. And there are certain troops that allow you to entangle a lot more often. Also, with its final trait, it can entangle a random enemy when matching green, and it does generate mana for itself by creating those 10 green gems. So it can power itself up and just like loop the scatter damage. So it's not as powerful though as the Wild Queen. I will say that's the number one here on the list. The Queen of Sin, not really worth it. It does do true damage to the first 2 enemies, which is a good thing. True damage is always nice. Stealing true damage would always be a better type for me than just doing true damage. Now, it does have the ability to summon Wrath or Lust, and then it blesses all demon allies. So Bless is still pretty strong. Summoning Wrath is like a really good legendary troop, especially if you have it traded. Lust is just a really annoying legendary troop. So it's not a really horrible mythic, but I don't find myself using it a lot, especially since it does the true damage to the first 2 enemies. So if you had, not only that, but the colors here are very similar to the Arachnean Weaver mythic troop, but I would say this would go really well with that if this troop did true damage to the last 2 enemies instead of the first 2, because you could pair it up with the Weaver, and they're both going to be doing damage to the last 2 enemies, but that's not the case. So, yeah. Anyway, so just to summarize here, what's the best mythic is going to be the Wild Queen. Second to that is Yasamine's Chosen. And that's my recommendations for the troops this week. And of course, we're looking at the event week is of the Kingdom Sin of Mirage. So if you have event keys here saved up and you want to get one of the legendary or mythic troops that are for this kingdom, now is the week to do that. So if you want to go and see what kind of troops are there, if we go here, go to the kingdoms, and we're going to go all the way down to the Sin of Mirage. And we'll just go base rarity. And this is what you're looking at here. You basically have one mythic troop for this kingdom, which is this one, which we already went over, the Queen of Sin. And then we have 2 legendary troops, Lust and Wrath. So if you did want to get your hands on Wrath, now would be the time to do it with those event keys. There really isn't any other troop really mentioning in here that's great except for Greed. Greed is one of the most essential troops for a Skeleton Key team. Starts with full mana once you unlock that. But yeah, so that's it for going over those troops. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new troop that's out for this week called Broker of Greed. I'm going to go ahead and purchase it here. Let's take a look at what it does first. So first of all, it has a 13 mana cost. It is a demon. It is a rogue. It will give 5 to a random skill on another ally, boosted by my gold. The boost ratio is 1-for-1. And then you will lose all of your gold, and it will explode 3 yellow gems. Now, your gold can max out at about 200 if you have a Cedric troop in there. So, if you got that maximum amount of gold, it would be giving about 200 to a random skill on another ally. But then you're going to lose all your gold, and then, well, you'd have to gain all that gold back, which could be a little bit annoying. And it says a random skill, and what it's talking about is attack, armor, life, and magic. So you have a quarter of a chance to give that much of a boost to any one of those. And you might be trying to boost magic, or you might be trying to boost attack. So really, you're better off using a troop that's going to boost those skills specifically. So if you wanted to boost armor, it's better using a troop that's going to give you a guaranteed boost for armor than something like this. I don't see myself using this troop at all in the future. So I'm just going to buy it for the sake of getting it here to Mythic, and we're going to level it up so we have it to level up our kingdom. I like the art, though. The art is pretty nice. Let's go ahead and get our spoils of war. Nice. Okay, so what we're looking at here is we covered the Soulforge. Let's go to the event. So we have the raid boss event, and guess what? It's of the Sin of Mirage. So we're going to have to use troops from that kingdom to do battles, which is going to be interesting. We're probably going to use something like Wrath at the top, and then something to generate mana and create skulls. That's what I'm thinking so far. So let's go ahead and buy our shop stuff here. And you do have a chance buying these things here in the shop to get a legendary or mythic troop. Like that, I just got Lust, which is a legendary troop. So you do have a chance of spending some gems here on these and getting some of those troops. Now let me take a look at this. So we might end up using this. Sometimes they're pretty good. This is based on how many allies of this kingdom we have in our team. So then it creates a mix of 6 red and purple gems for each Sin of Mirage ally. Now unfortunately there is a few, I know there's at least one, there might be more weapons of this type that actually generate mana for itself, and those are pretty good, I will say. I like those. This does not generate mana for itself. But it creates red and purple, so we're going to have to go and look for Mirage allies that have those two colors. See what kind of team we can build out of that. So let's purchase it here. And I always purchase up to getting the weapon at least. Sometimes I do purchase this just so that I can get the Godslayer troop leveled up to a higher level. And we may do that, but I'm going to stop there for now. Let's build our team. And in the beginning, it doesn't really matter too much because you look at this, the life and the armor is so low. You know, for the first few levels, it really doesn't matter what team you choose. So we're restricted to the troops of this kingdom. This is the special troop here that we got in the shop. Deals damage to an enemy if they're a boss. Deal 3 to 5 times the damage based on ascensions. If the enemy dies, steal 4 magic from all remaining enemies. So, we're probably going to put Wrath out there at the top, like I said. And we might as well put the Queen of Sin in there just for the heck of it. And yeah, we might throw in this guy here possibly. Let's see if I can unlock the traits. Yeah, I do have enough arcane stones to do that because that might come in handy. Let's level it up. Okay. Let's go ahead and drop that in there, and then we'll go take a look at that weapon that we just got. Right here. Let's see what its upgrades do. So once you get to this point, it says disease the first enemy, deals 5 damage to the last enemy, bleed the first enemy. So nothing really fantastic, but we have enough legendary ingots. Let's just upgrade that. So it's going to create red and purple. Unfortunately, Wrath doesn't have red in it, the Queen doesn't have red in it, and purple, the Envoy of Pride here is the only one that has purple in it. It's kind of bizarre. Yeah, I'm not sure what the heck is going on with what they're thinking with that. Like, really? Because if you go back here, what traits do you have red with it? Okay, you're basically looking at Symbol of Lust, which just explodes a gem. This, which does true damage. This does damage. Reach the skill is greater. This is here. And there's nothing really that crazy damage here that we have that uses red. And there isn't too many that use purple other than you have Lust that's purple. Pride, Sloth. There's a couple. But that's odd. Why? I don't know why they would choose those two colors. It seems like green is more of a theme here with these troops. If they did like green and brown or green and yellow, that would make way more sense, because you have the Queen here, which uses green and yellow. You have the Wrath, which uses yellow. You also have quite a few other troops in here that do use green and yellow. It's like those are the colors that I would have picked for that weapon, but you know, I don't know. What do I know? So we're probably not going to use Wrath right away. Let's just pick a troop here, or not a troop, but a weapon that's going to do damage quick for us. We could do one of these. We could go purple. Put this at the top and do a banner that's double purple. Let's see here. Double purple, blue maybe. For class, I'm thinking the Archmagus, because it also has, I have this unlocked where I gain 2 bonus purple plus my banner, and it starts with half mana, which means I'm going to get this up pretty darn quickly, and we will be able to do some big damage. But yeah, this is just weird. I don't know why they would choose 2 colors that for that weapon that don't even really fit with most of the colors of that kingdom. That's weird. Yeah, this should get me through most of the early stages, and then I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do for the later on. It's probably going to consist of something like Mang, and I'll probably go in the shop and buy a few more of these so that I can get this to legendary at least, maybe mythic. And I'll probably have these two at... I'll probably have 2 of them here, and then I'll probably have something for mana generation at the bottom, and then I'll have Mang at the top. That's really what I'm thinking I'm going to go with. Yeah, I'm just looking here. I'm going on 20 minutes, guys. I'm probably going to end it here in a little while. I don't think I'm going to get far enough in these battles to show off the Mang team that I'm talking about. But yeah, all these lower levels, you really shouldn't have any trouble with these, because pretty much any weapon that you have that's going to do damage to all enemies is just going to go right through these guys so easy. It is nice, though, one of the things that they did do, it's not a recent update, but I really like how they added the potions to these different events, where you have gems exploding and then enchanting all of their troops here. I really do enjoy that change that they made. Alright, let's see. Yeah, maybe I'll get up to the point where I'm actually fighting the raid boss, and maybe I can show off that Mang team I was talking about. I can push this video another 10 minutes probably. You know, if you guys want to see that, you could probably just skip to the end of this video right now, honestly. You got that option, I don't, because I have to live this out. Wow. Well, all like extra turns. We're getting lucky with all the raid boss sigils. That's good. It's going to help me out later on. Yeah, we leveled up our class here one level. That's nice. I'll probably switch the class though once I go over to Mang. Because I want a class that has rock solid if I'm doing Mang. Yeah, I'm still leveling up a few of those other classes. I almost have the Sentinel class up to 100. I've been working on that one for a long time. Plague Lord's getting pretty close too. But yeah. Getting those classes up to 100 is no small task, I tell you. That takes quite a bit of time. Okay, we're finally up to where we got the raid boss going on here. So let me do what I was talking about. I'm going to go to the shop. We're going to buy another set of these guys. So we got 5 more of these. We'll probably be able to ascend it to legendary at this point. So let's go back to the raid boss. Let's fight. Let's set up our new team here. So I'm looking at going Mang. And we probably will do... Well, I was going to say I could do Sentinel, but Barrier doesn't mean anything when you're going to go up against the raid boss. Doesn't mean anything at all. And Plague Lord actually starts with 50% mana, unlike Sentinel. So that's going to help. Plus, Plague Lord has disease when matching green gems. Which I don't know how many green gems I'll match, but we do need to change our banner to double purple yellow if that is possible. And it is, because we want this troop here. Let's go ahead and ascend that one more time. Might as well level it up too. Yeah. Okay. So, because its damage is based on its ascensions, so this is going to be, it's going to do more damage now. For sure. So, we want that to get leveled up. I really don't think... Hang on, let's clear this out. Okay. Now, what can we use in this kingdom for mana generation? Because that's really what matters. Because Envoy of Pride is going to do all the damage we need to the raid boss. I could keep the Queen in there. Symbol of Lust. Yeah, we could throw that in there maybe. There is some mana blocking that though. I don't think I really have any other troops here that are generating mana, are there? Well, Gluttony explodes gems of enemies' mana color, chance to devour them. Yeah, we really don't have any mana generators other than Gluttony and Sybil. This is just gonna drain all mana. Alright, I guess that's about it. Let's go do a few battles with this team. So that leveled up really quick. The thing we want to think about though, we don't want to cast that on the raid boss right away. Now, it probably would kill him right now, but the main thing you want to always do is hit the raid boss with your Mang first, strip it of all armor, increases your attack on Mang, and then you're going to go ahead and hit the raid boss with your raid boss killing troop, the Godslayer. And yeah, this is going to be a little bit slow, but I suppose Wrath would probably be good in there because it's going to create skulls, and that'll really help your Mang finish off the rest of the enemies. So yeah, that could be Wrath could be useful after all. Yeah, let's just use this. And then we'll hit it with Mang, kill it. Yeah, let's try a battle with Wrath in there instead, because it's going to create those skulls that we need. Good old Wrath. Yeah, I don't know. Symbol of Lust is just going to... Everything is going to mana block it between Mang and Envy there. Could give us a little bit of mana that we need early on, though, because it's going to get enchanted. And, yep. Yeah, Wrath is kind of blocked too from these. Both of these here have colors that are blocking that, unfortunately. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see, transforms blue gems to brown, yellow to skulls, and that's the skulls that we need. So yeah, I think this is going to be the team here that I'm recommending to go with. A Symbol of Lust, you could replace that with something else. Its color is also getting blocked by the other two. Preferably you want something in there for mana generation. At this point, you probably could do this because it explodes 4 gems of an enemy's mana color. And right now we don't have anything blocking green or blue, so that might be the way to go. Let's do one battle with that, and then I'll wrap this video up. Make sure we don't have any 4 or 5 matches. We'll hit the raid boss. And one of the things that's really frustrating sometimes is how many extra turns the enemy gets. I mean, I know that I get extra turns too once everything lines up, but it's frustrating to sit there sometimes and watch the enemy take like 6 extra turns and just ruin all your chances of being able to beat them. There we go. Yeah, Wrath does really help out create the, I didn't even use that mana generator, but I could have. But yeah, this is the team here that I think is going to take me all the way through to the highest levels of raid boss, probably. Mang's always a great weapon. And then we got, yeah, I think that's a good team right there. So I'll go ahead and paste this code down in the description for you guys. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching this video, and thanks for, all the support. If you like this video, please leave a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks.